felt pretty good about that actually.
Yeah. All right. So let's go into the VOD reviews. What replays did we see that we're looking over? I know that they wanted Busan to be covered.
No, they wanted Volsky and Rialto.
Volsky and Rialto? Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
I thought they said Busan was one looking over, or one worth looking over.
No, it was Busan. Sorry, Volsky, Rialto, and there's time, which there probably won't be. We have like 35 minutes, but.
I mean, I'm willing to go a little over, but if you got a hard deadline.
Yeah. Okay. I might have time. We'll see.
Okay. Let me make sure that recording's still going. Okay, so recording's good. Rialto. We currently have I mean, it looks like our typical brawl style comp with double or not double projectile, jeez. McCree Hanzo as opposed to like McCree May.
I mean, Flashbang's basically a projectile, right? No.
That's true. That's true. And they're running Ash May instead. So I know we've talked about the Ash on offense here with Rialto, so I want to see how they play that. That's definitely something I want to observe, is if the Ash goes up here. Okay.
So, first of all, first principle of fighting against May, be careful fighting in chokes, right? If you're going to fight in chokes, you want to have at least some kind of off-angle pressure, so you need first you need off-angle pressure, right? So your McCree should be like sitting high ground or something, just waiting for your team to like, for something to happen so that we can like pop out and go for like a big pick or something, or yeah, or our Hanzo, or just like we need to have some kind of off-angle pressure. Second, if we have a May, our May should be hard stacked in our Rhine. And if not, we need to like have even more off-angle pressure to account for the fact that we don't have a May, right? Otherwise, this is going to happen every time, right? Otherwise, right? If neither of these things are true, right? We don't like say our like Hanzo drops, and our McCree is already low ground, and we also don't have May, right? If all these things are true, then we have to just give up we give up the choke entirely. We play all the way back, and that way we have room. So that way, if they wall, we can set up a big concave around this spot, right? So we shouldn't be playing in this hallway without a May and without off-angle pressure.
And when Hanzo drops too, like I don't think Ross is at all ready to like follow through on these kinds of things, right? I don't know what that bubble's meant to achieve there.
Yeah, but this wall shuts out our entire backline, right?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we get a bubble, right? But like, we're actually even walking forward aggressively here. So on the topic of stop inting Owen, like this is this is just not like a very good fight based on our composition.
I don't know why Ross drops here either. Because like it looked like we had some sort of off-angle high ground control, and then we just gave it up for like literally no reason.
Well, they had an Ash, so we maybe felt pressure, right? But if we're going to drop from high ground and give up,
Ash is back here. Right?
Yeah, but I mean it's kind of threatening to stay up there, right? But if the reason why we dropped is because we felt pressured by the Ash, then we need to make clear that we're dropping, and that way Owen knows that he needs to play off, like he needs to be backing already, right? He can't be stuck in this hallway when the May comes around the corner.
Yeah, so Immor gets used as a bailout. We lose our Rhine, have to play back. Looks like that's what we're doing.
We didn't really back fast enough, but we get a kill. So it's important in situations like this, when we're resetting, that we very aggressively push out to off angles. So right here, the furthest we get is like a slight degree of separation between like our McCree and our Rhine. And honestly, we want almost nobody actually behind our Rhine in a comp like this. So when we're retaking, like as early as we can, we should have a McCree thinking about flanking and our Hanzo at minimum taking high ground. And then when we push out, if the McCree is still with the Rhine, then he needs to go like push out extremely wide, and then our Hanzo will push the opposite angle on the high ground.
Kind of looks like that's what's going on here with Josh back. I don't know if that was a C9 choke or something, but.
Well, I mean, so the problem with this is that, like, again, we don't want to fight in this hallway, like, at all. Like, we can poke here, and that's fine. Okay, if we want to fight bridge, that's okay. But, like, they're not going to fight us bridge, it looks like.
Yeah, we either have to fight this bridge or, like, this bridge.
Yeah, like the choke.
Not even this bridge, like this corner.
Yeah, we have to play open space as a team, because, like, our side of the choke or something like that, because they have a mate, right? We can't just say sit in the middle of chokes. And this bridge is okay because there's lots of surrounding high grounds and it's like open space, but like there's this problem, right, where they go this way. Yeah, so Owen, you should not be trying to fight them inside this like choke basically, right? Not like you can stay here, but you should not be pushing until your Hanzo's ready to dragon, right? And once he dragons, then you push it, right? And maybe charge or do whatever you want at that point. But like you shouldn't be standing in the middle of the hallway waiting for like the wall to come out, because that's what basically you're doing.
Both of those ults there, I think, is okay. I think we can get another dragon for grab dragon WinCon. They have good high ground control now. Yeah. Okay, so we're back. I mean, mostly because of window, but we need to be playing this corner and not hallway anyways, so that's fine.
Can you pause real quick?
Yeah.
All right, look at our DPS. Right.
Yeah.
This is not really angling, right?
Yeah. This does nothing for Hanzo right here, I think. Right. Besides
I mean, like
the gap, but like, wouldn't this be better for Hanzo? Or up here even?
Yeah, exactly. Because like the Hanzo has access to like high ground, so he should be trying to abuse that as much as possible. And then the McCree would probably take the more grounded angle generally because he has to. Although if we have time to set up, he should. Getting a McCree on high ground is really powerful as well.
Yeah.
And then the Hanzo can play the long angle or something.
I'm gonna change my screen sharing with you just real quick. Okay. So I can actually show this. Okay. Yeah, because I like thinking about the concave, right? That you were saying. Ideally, we want something like, oh, well, not with that weird jaggedness. Because ideally, with the concave, we want something like that, right? Maybe spreading up to this high ground a little bit.
Yeah, or like you can put like your Hanzo in the far back, right, and just play him really like defensively, and then have our Kree like swing out really far to the left or something, right?
Like Kree here,
or like further back probably, because like we don't want him getting rushed, right?
Yeah.
Probably even off screen potentially, right? Or we flip it around if we have time to get our Kree into high ground position, right? He can like play high ground where the
like it's like Kree here.
Yeah, like Kree here or Hanzo there, right? And then the other one should be either where Ian is except like on top, or like on the high ground behind them, or if in the case of McCree specifically, McCree can play like the under door next to where Ian is, and then he can like flank around, right? We can go for like a quick pick on the back line, then run back, right? Yeah, that's a potential spot he can start as well if they're not expecting it, and that's a very easy transition from above as well, right? You can like sit above initially, and then if like they don't know you're there, you can go for a flashbang from above and go for some damage and then back out. But if they do know you're there and they send a diva at you, you like fight the diva for a couple seconds and then drop and then go immediately flank.
Yeah, and
the diva probably won't see it coming.
Yeah, just in the position that we're in right now, it looks like all the pressure just goes upon the. Like, I'm gonna change the thickness of this. Like all our pressure just seems to come from this one direct angle, and they're just gonna duck behind corner anyways. Like it lets us chase a little, I suppose, but it just doesn't feel effective.
Yeah, we don't really have angles here. We're kind of all shooting the same thing because we have to, not because we want to, right?
Yep. Ryan swung really wide for that. Cool. So we waste their time. We waste the window. We get some value out of our own. And now we have grab dragons on the table.
Greetings.
So the win con here should be demeching diva pretty much. Or denying D-matrix.
Any way we get grab off is probably fine. But like again, see this is like going to happen every time.
Yeah, every time.
This is going to happen every time. Yeah.
Like
we got lucky a couple times, but like this time not so much.
I'm gonna go back to it. Right. So as soon as I changed the skip setting a little bit too much. Right. As soon as this fight is won, if we want to be playing forward needs to be here. Right. Forward needs to be here so we can play bridge or play open, or we have to commit to cart. And I think that indecision gets us split and kill here. Right. Like yeah. I get wanting to scout. I don't think in this case it's Owen's job, right? I think there should be something that like Hanzo does or a DPS that's already on high ground, ideally, because now we're just in the hallway and then May gets the nice cheaty wall in, right? Like, and then that's just free. That's literally also free just because of positioning.
Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, Diva's really good on this map. On this point, specifically for the reason that you can just get high ground and then like be obnoxious. You can just sit on that ledge above the cart and just do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, this I think was just a major mispositioning error, right? And not understanding where we needed to play against this composition. Like, realistically, we should have won that fight, but we gave them the win condition on a silver platter. So they're gonna cap this. Yeah.
The payload
Fun.
has reached the checkpoint.
Alright, playing bridge is fine, but again, we want to take angles, right? Do you see how close both our DPS are to where they are right now? Right? Our DPS. Goodbye, Josh. But like, we could very easily just have one like our Hans or something, or McCree, just sitting on the far right side, right? Like, what's stopping our DPS from playing there, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
we could
he
easily have
just
someone over here.
Yeah, just play here.
Yeah, that spot's really
yeah,
good.
Yeah, just play. This spot's great. Look at this angle.
Yeah, huge angle. Yeah, but we could have someone up
Huge
on the right
angle.
side. We could have someone like playing high ground behind us, right? There's a bunch of stuff we can do, right? But like, we should not have both DPS playing together, right?
I think here would be great for the McCree, right? If only for high noon to on bridge, because we said before in other games too, like high bridge on, high noon on bridge is phenomenal.
Yeah. There's a bunch of ways we can set this up, like 1.5 million ways that like we could like have a setup for this, but like the setup we went with, which is everybody in the bridge, is not the answer.
Like,
That's
yes,
not
we're running brawl, but the DPS are not brawl DPS.
Yeah, we can brawl, but only when we've like, if you think about the comps in terms of power spikes relative to time, right? The Mei power spike with wall is super big, right? But when the wall comes down, Mei's power level overall compared to our consistent damage is much lower. So we just need to survive the wall, and then once we survive the wall, then we can quote unquote brawl, right?
Big shatter.
Yeah, so this is really good. We're like, Josh is like fighting for the flank, right? And Aras was holding the high ground, right? And then Ian was just playing a defensive standard angle. Like, Ian can probably flank at that point as well, but like, because honestly, again, like almost nobody needs to actually be behind the Rhine. You need your BAP to be relatively close and have LOS, but the BAP doesn't want to get shattered, so you can play like high grounds or off angles. And the Lucio should be playing above the Rhine generally.
Play here, right? Like if they're gonna take this last fight, BAP could be playing lamppost.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of places BAP can stand relative to like how especially relative to where our DPS are set up. But again, no one actually needs to be behind the Rhine in this comp.
I suppose here is an exception. Fighting.
Yeah, I mean, when the map forces us to play all together, right? That's different, right? But in like, especially in the open scenarios that we want against Mei, right? We need to be more spread out, because that's the way we we mitigate the Mei wall, right? It's just by being further apart.
How's this
So
noon go over?
Yeah, it's not gonna work. But like, the reason why we lost that fight, right? Think about it in terms of like map geometry, right? So if we go into that room, if you look in this room, right? What is this? How wide are these paths, right? They're extremely narrow, so it's hard to play open in this space, right? So instead of fighting them here, like, why don't we just like back out and then let them take the high ground and just set up all around the high ground, right, on the outside of the map, right? We can absolutely do that. But we're trying to challenge them here when this is like their comp. This is where they want to fight with their comp, right? We have so much more damage than them than neutral. We just need to survive.
I don't like that we got lamp force there. Maybe we could have that blizzard if possible.
Probably
not likely.
Yeah, I think the bigger issue is like we took a bad fight in the first place, and then like all stood in main after that.
I'm just thinking about like what calls are being made on top of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So careful, Owen. Your team is still responding, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're down 2 right now.
Shadow gets used as a cheat. At least you killed the Rhine for it. Right. You traded out Shatters, and they haven't really gotten too much out of that, I think, in terms of payload progress. Like, you should still be able to reclaim this corner. Based off of spawn advantage.
Yeah, so we fought in front of a choke, right? And now we have to ult our way out of the situation, right? That's 3 big ults, we might not even win this fight.
Dragon's got eaten.
Yeah. So despite the fact that we used 3 of our or 2 of our best ults plus dragon,
Pain.
we didn't win. We still lost this fight, right? And this just comes down to the fact that we're fighting in front of a choke, right? If we're gonna be fighting here, we need to have the McCree already pushing the left door, right? And then our Hanzo like taking a wide angle on the right side, right? We need to be pushed up forward, so we have a concave already around this wall instead of having to fight our way through a wall. Every time we have to fight our way through a wall, we're at a major deficit. And this can be avoided just by like either setting up for an aggressive play in advance, so we're more forward on the flanks, or just not fighting here, taking 2 steps back and not actually like trying to hold them at the first possible opportunity. Like May's like problematic because she makes like you really have to think about positional play, right? You really have to think about like what happens if I fight you, right? And the answer is like in this case, right? We just die.
The payload is approaching its destination.
All right.
We just lose off this. Yeah.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Okay. Part 2.
The payload.
Part 2.
Aggressive Boogaloo. Okay, we're not on the May. Cool. So we're getting the high grounds already. I like that. Alright, that's just what needs to happen. Pulling corner's good. Yeah, so I'm afraid Owen's gonna step forward here, right? As soon as he crosses pretty much this pillar, he's gonna get walled. Like I can already see it. Oh, May's not in position. All right, she went for it though.
Right.
She missed the wall, but
Yeah.
she basically did exactly that, right?
Yeah. Again, well, this is if we're willing to get walled, right? We need to either, if we're willing to get walled, we have to be like really pushing somewhere else on the map at the same time, right? So Aras is sort of pushing the high ground, right? But if we're willing to get walled, right, we're walking to that. That should be like our maybe not necessarily our BAP, but like at least one of our DPS plus Aras plus one of the supports probably at the same time as like Owen walks into a wall range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or into a wallable space. And then the other DPS should be pushing somewhere else, right? So like Josh's flank would be really good if they were all inning on Owen at the same time, right? So this is just too early from you, Josh, because like we haven't done anything on the left side of the map yet, right?
We haven't done anything. Ian's not in a position where he can really contribute now, right?
Yeah. Ian's in a defensive spot, and then Josh is pushing before like Orion is like hard pushing.
So the flank is somewhat mistimed.
Yeah. Or the simpler
You can go
solution
here.
is everybody just backs up and takes high ground right now,
Yeah.
right? And then once you take high ground, then you can do whatever you want, right? You can have your diva drop and push cart, and nobody's at risk of getting walled. And then that way you have high ground control for your 2 DPS and where their DPS supposed to hide, right?
Yeah, I almost think that's just a better option, right? Is slap diva onto the cart to get payload progress, push everyone up on the high ground because they can't do this to diva, right? This diva has a nice shift ability, and she can just rejoin you. So I think having her be the one to escort cart here is probably the ideal if we're running something like this into something like this.
Yeah.
Right.
To emphasize though, like again, there's multiple ways you can do it. It just going high ground is definitely the easiest and most consistent way. But if we are going to do it any other way, right, we have to have it has to be planned out, right?
Yeah, so it looks like a little bit of desyncs from everyone, just in terms of getting in. Oh, don't get demacked here.
It's like Legion Control Center. Rip. I mean, at least you can jump off easily here. It's like Legion Control Center or like what was the other map? Mecha Base. You can't get lazy with your pathing. You have to play mind games with the enemy team when there's May involved, and you have to be considerate about how you take pushes because if you just walk into them, you're going to die. And it's not like a question of like if it's a matter. It's just like you're just kind of letting it happen.
The classic Dragon Shatter combo. I like it.
Huge.
Actually immense. Why does this guy drop again? Oh, he gets. Oh. He's so far away. He's hiding in the corner. It literally hits everyone except him.
Dude, it's his team's fault. Why were they stacked behind him?
Yeah, someone get Owen a pair of sneakers right now. Oh, that's a 5-man. Holy. And you already had faith that this was gonna hit, or at least using Dragon to clear this is like not terrible, considering how fast you built it.
I mean, dragons in this hallway is very good in general.
Yeah, I mean for the
that
same
Rhino's already
reason,
super
right?
deep. Yeah.
For the same reason that Mei in that hallway is super good is just you shut it down. Okay, they're probably gonna recontest. Yeah. Where is that Lucio going?
Good question.
Lucio just
Around the world in 80
tour.
days.
Oh my god.
Oh, we have main now. Oh, okay. That was main engine.
Okay, so Lucio kind of just went on his world tour and then died.
Has reached the
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know how to even interpret that fight. It just didn't look like a fight. Okay. Stealing while we hunt. Now we take the high ground and hold.
Yeah. So this is good, Ian. Like, this is the kind of off angling you need to do. You just need to be conservative with it, and then start pushing the off angle even more when you recognize that this kind of stuff is going on. That's a good dragon to do.
I
But, like,
cannot
instead of-
believe that hits them.
Yeah, but I mean, instead of sitting in that spot, right, you could actually go all the way over to like the coast side, right? You just keep going and going and going, and like, they can't really do much about it as long as like you time it well, right? Because like you just have more range than everyone on the enemy team, right? So if you just like take angles that they can't really push, especially the diva, if the diva can push you, you got a problem, right? So this is the reason why this is problematic is look how close the diva is to you now, right?
Yeah.
The dragon's fine though.
She would have eaten that.
I mean, I don't know if she can eat that because that was through the wall.
No, because she did the same thing to him on the defense between the Mei wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she almost harasses you there.
That was a good setup though overall.
Yep, I like
Like
that.
we had our Mei Rhine together, controlling high ground. We had our Hanzo off angling. Right. Overall, there was a lot of good stuff there.
Well, like also just like the ult timing too. Like I feel like it's very clearly communicated that we're going in off of dragons, right? Like we're playing this defensively. They're running into us, and then as soon as we dragons, Owen's already stepping forward. Owen's already trying to do stuff, right? Like it's simple. It's really not that much in the grand scheme of things. It's just talking, but I like that we're talking, right? Is dragons coming out, push. Right? Just be aggressive off of it. Do they recontest here? Probably not.
Yeah, no way.
The payload has reached
Wow, 5-minute time bank.
Oh my god.
Rhine
He
diff.
just does it to him. Rhine diff, MPD. Alright, Lampet's force, that's fine. That's fine there at least, because the fight's not gonna happen for a while. Oh, he cancels Mei. Alright, really dice for it.
Alright, where were our supports when that was going on?
They were in the
Owen's
back
kinda-
because they got zoned out by Diva Bomb. So what happens is,
No, but like after this, right? There's no diva bombing.
we've got Baptiste pushing the cart, right? Because Diva's at mech trying to get mech back. Tina's back here.
This is bad communication then.
Yeah.
Owen is like calling for a push, and he doesn't have either support like looking at him.
Oh, this hurts.
Yeah, like, and at minute, like, so either the Lucio should be with him, right, or the BAP should be like maintaining LOS somehow, right?
Yeah.
And if one of them needs to get off cart to do that, that's fine, right? But like, Owen pushes that alone. So like, Owen, I don't know if you were calling to like push there, but if you did, you didn't get the help you needed, and if you didn't, then that's on you, right?
I want to see how this ties into the bomb, though. Right. So bomb comes out, everybody's hidden. Right. This amp is kind of not great. Right, because you're not getting any effect besides speed out of it. Or like and you commit to speed too, like you don't even go to heal. Right? And then you don't play with the Rhine. So you just used to lose the utility off of that, and you're not healing your Rhine the entire time. And then during that also I feel like just there's not communication between Baptiste and Rhine here. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so he starts stealing, and then he pushes, and then he realizes his cart's gone because he stepped forward too much.
And it's,
Now-
again, it's also like if like you're having communication problems with like Tina and like Tina's running forward and you need to help, you feel like you need to help Owen, right? And Tina's not helping Owen. You can leave cart for a couple of seconds. It's not the end of the world to stop pushing cart, but what will stop the cart is Owen dying, right? If Owen dies, you got to get off cart for a while, right? So, but if you keep Owen alive, it doesn't matter if you lose a couple seconds of cart time, right? Like the cart stops now, right? And that's because Owen's dead. And we lose the fight. Whoa, big kill. I think it was like a double think.
We should be going. Block. I'm not sure why we beat that, but
Yeah, that was probably one ult too many, maybe two, but definitely one.
yeah, Blizzard Mob felt okay.
Yeah, I mean, like Blizzard B is also fine, right? Like it just like the last one is, you know, it doesn't really matter which ones we use there. It's just that, like the last one is the most problematic, right?
Oh, that's a little too close. I think
Also, please. Also, please, right? Like, if we know a contest is going to happen, get our supports off cart, right? Especially our BAP. And also, probably off angle more with the Hanzo, but that's not that bad, I think.
Yeah. Well, it is bad because we know they're going to contest, like, you're not going to get any value of dragons unless you do it right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is you don't want to off angle so hard that you end up like being hit but from the other door, right? Because if you get pushed from the other door, like as you're just standing there, like, but like see how our backline is all on cart right now? Like this is what we want to avoid, right? And the D.Va's like touching cart and applying pressure to both of you at the same time, right? That's what we want to avoid.
We have lost control of this situation very quickly.
Yeah. Like there's still a lot of pressure on them, and they have to waste cooldowns to get in, and like they're somewhat predictable, so Owen finds an easy shatter, right? But the fight got really messy because our backline, instead of being preemptively where they're at, right, got forced into that position, right? Yeah, so now we don't because our backline needed help, our Lucio fell back with them, right? And now our Lucio's not in position to like help our actual front line, right?
Yeah, I just think that we weren't in. Like there's a point where we just need to chill, right? Like we don't have to be touching the spawn doors. Especially if make sure that we don't get recontested on, given the time bank. Right between when we win that fight and when this contest comes out. I mean, we clean it up because I think we're just, you know, team diff, but Pain. Do we clean this up? Sure.
It's actually looking dicey.
No, I mean we win this, but like
I don't know.
I'm looking at the time.
Oh, okay.
We definitely win with time, right? But it's
dicey.
This whole oh.
Okay, we got the blizzard. We're good. And the bomb.
Smorgasbord of
wait, this is actually still losable. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, okay, no, this entire thing looks losable. Is the problem, right? Like, okay, yeah. I guess Moira just dies there. I don't like that the replay just cuts off the tail end of it, but yeah, it's like, oh, okay, all right.
Cool. Overall, though, most important thing is when we're not running Mei into Mei, we cannot play good spots for the Mei, right? We have to play open spaces and set up big concaves using our double poke. And likewise, when we're pushing into Mei space, even with a Mei, we want to be pushing from multiple angles at the same time, especially using high ground, right? If not, like straight up everyone going high ground and leaving like a D.Va to walk cart or something. Don't just walk into a Mei and expect things to be okay, because usually the answer is it won't be okay.
We're supposed to be watching Sky next, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's still showing up for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright, I got distracted. What happened?
I don't know. We kind of just let them walk in. So, I'm gonna put this in 0.75 in my old man eyes. Okay, so Tracer makes it through, right? Just because she's Tracer. Dive comes in. Everybody has to back.
Okay. So when this dive is
point
happening,
pressure.
right? Do you see this backline just walking in for free?
Yeah.
All right, can you go back?
Yeah. About.
So first of all, positionally, Dylan, you need to be closer to like where Ian is from the start, right? You want to play high guns initially. The only exception is if like they walk out with a sniper and they're just sitting outside the choke, like peeking in, and then you just kind of chill behind the box where Ian's at, and for the most part don't peek. But you're way too close to the action right now. Like you're diveable target, despite the fact that like you're supposed to be really hard to like actually push, and you also can't see everyone on your team, which makes it very difficult for you to actually do your job, right? So you want to position next to the high ground or on the high ground rather, so that way you can A, just see everything easier, and B, like you can help people on high ground easier because you're on the same level of them as opposed to like underneath them. Healing people from underneath them as BAP is literally impossible. It's so hard. So just make your own life easier. And then second, when the enemy team dives in as Monkey, right, that's your cue to go aggressive. Owen, assuming your team didn't die immediately. So generally speaking, they're going to try and use Monkey jumps to cover for oh, I guess you got purpled. So you pushed too early actually, Owen.
Yeah.
Right? You pushed into the Monkey when you didn't need to. You got purpled, and now you can't actually go aggressive when their Monkey's going aggressive, right?
I also don't even like this dive from the Monkey, right? Because like Tracer's not quite set up, Echo's 1, Monkey's half, healers are getting a little bit pressured out. Like this definitely feels like a suboptimal time to be diving, anyways. But
Yeah, he doesn't even make it to the high ground.
he doesn't even make it to the high ground. He just sees the target. He sees the target, and his literal monkey brain goes, "I need to jump that." Right? Like this is a terrible dive from the Monkey, all things considered, but it works, right? It works even though it's terrible.
Yeah, but then if you look at this backline
zone
rotating,
it.
do you see that backline? That's your food, right? You have your Lucio with you. This is your cue to like literally just turn on speed and run at the Zana, right? This is a free Ana. They have no bubble, no way of protecting her, and she has no nade because you're purple, and you know that, right? This is the freest Ana in the world, and they're just trying to rotate in front of you because they feel like the Monkey's open up space, which he hasn't. Like, he hasn't done anything. All he did was jump in.
Well, he hasn't. He jumped in, and this should be a punishable dive. Like he should never have gone in there in the first place, and we kind of scatter. We don't like respond to it.
Yeah, I mean the big thing to recognize
is
like
at least, and Tina tries to.
Oh, we're splitting as well.
But we're splitting really hard now.
Yeah.
And now Owen can't pressure, and Owen has to wait for heals from Dylan. And Hanzo gets caught out up top. Yeah, we just kind of lose an idea of where we need to be, and now we're all holding point.
And sorry for pausing again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go back a little bit as well.
Oh, I have to turn off the beep beep beep.
I can't hear anymore because you're on the other mode.
Yeah, because I'm on screen share.
Yeah.
But it
so
pains me.
Alright, so if we do decide, pause. So in this frame, right, assuming we want to take this fight, right, which we can, we need to be more spread out though, right? We need to have like Owen sitting left side and like Ross sitting all the way back on right, and then like McCree like way in the back, right? We need to be as hard to dive as possible, especially when the enemy team is not playing angle as well. Do you see this? They're all together, right? All of them. So we need to be more spread out so we don't give them a great like clump for the Monkey to jump.
McCree should be like here-ish, right?
Yeah, or even further back or behind the boxes, whatever the case may be. Like just some kind of cover or like extreme distance, right?
So McCree should be somewhere like along this kind of box.
Yeah, and the BAP should be like pretty much right next to them, or maybe slightly off to the side.
Or even up top, right? Like I think
If you get there, that's a little far. Yeah.
It's a little far, but I think you can make it work, right?
Yeah, it's possible for sure. Yeah, and then the Zarya and Ryan.
I'm thinking like, how much space does that Monkey need to clear, right? If this is the line that we're choosing to hold, like that Monkey's never gonna make that jump on the first go.
The concern is if the enemy team starts playing angles well, that you might get caught.
Yeah.
But like our Ryan and Zarya need to have some kind of like we're kind of doing it right now. Like we're sort of playing like a split on the choke, which is good. But like a more dramatic one is probably better because if Ross doesn't have bubble, he can just kind of get dived as well. And then we want our Lucio.
Where does Ross gonna be right now?
Maybe just a little bit further back.
Perfect world,
initially.
like just like right here.
You're just a little bit further back initially. So that way you're a little bit harder to poke and you're a little bit harder to dive. So that way you're not an appealing target, right? Because a high energy Zarya is a very appealing target to go for. And if like you're just not appealing at the start of the fight, then at the end of the fight you just kill them. You kill everything, right? And then we want our Lucio as well to be probably playing high ground where Ian died, and that way like she can our Lucio can just like kick people off, right? And also respond better to dives, right? So if the Monkey over jumps or like jumps badly, you can like push him back in and kill him, right? Or like if he tries to like you give him some eye candy to look at as well. So if the Monkey sees you up there, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go for Lucio. You can just kind of control him and boop him back out. or just like run away from him if he gets bubbled. And that's a dive and bubble burn, right? And that's room for your McCree and Zarya to kill stuff.
Do you want the Lucio up here while the Echo is here, right? Like, do you want the Lucio to be challenging this?
Well, the Lucio should start up there. If the Echo comes for the Lucio just runs away, right?
Okay.
But like this is what I mean. Like in this frame, we're already way out of position relative to where we should be, right?
Right.
Like I know it's chaotic, and I know there's a lot of stuff to sort through right now, but like we're all over the place.
Because I'm trying to make the logical train, right? Because Lucio needed to be playing forward with tanks, right? Like in the fight that led up to this, and Baptiste needed to be playing up here where the Hanzo was, right? So at what point does the Lucio switch off of tanks to being with Hanzo and Baptiste falls back? Like when does that transition happen?
Okay, so in this if this was going on, right? Hanzo would probably be somewhere still where he died around the area, maybe like slightly further to the down left. So that, or down, I guess, straight down, somewhere where he doesn't get like easily jumped as much, right? But like has some distance, but it's still playing high ground, right? And then if the Hanzo is playing that aggressive position, the Lucio should be camping him, right? But just generally controlling high ground is really strong. Lucio's really good for that. In the first fight situation, where like on the by the truck, to be honest, the Lucio doesn't even need to play with the tanks. She can kind of just play with her Hanzo initially or the backline. And as the situation develops, right, then you can move forward and speed your tanks in, right? But your tanks don't really need to have the Lucio with them at the start because your tanks aren't going to be running through the choke most of the time, right? So there's not really a need to have a Lucio like sitting on there 24/7. It's better to protect the backline initially so you can fend off the early monkey jumps and like any kind of like pressure for the enemy DPS and chase them down if they like start flanking. And then transition later on into like either speeding your tanks forward or speeding your backline out, right?
Right.
Or even your tanks out if the situation demands it, right? I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff. Lucio's a very flexible character. I just personally really prioritize these high grounds, so.
I'm gonna resume playing it.
Okay. You've got your, yeah, okay. Yeah, but this monkey should not be landing on both their supports at the same time. This is like a big problem, right? And this is why we get purpled, right? They just throw the purple where the monkey is, and the monkey gets a buff, and our Lucio almost dies. And it forces a bubble not on our line, right? This is good for us, but you're playing too far forward, right? You see how you're getting pressure now? And you don't have cover to hide behind, so you either need to be playing next to the boxes, behind the boxes, or behind the corner, right? And that way you have options to back out if you get pressure, instead of just playing on point.
Yeah, they're not playing angles whatsoever.
Yeah, they're bad. They're really bad.
they're, like the Tracer tried and Josh is vibe checked her, but like this sucks from them, honestly. Like it's not great from us at the moment, but it's definitely worse from them.
Like, I mean, if you just take our heroes and line them up and take their heroes and line them up and just like shoot damage across, we just win that situation.
We win that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, because we have the Ryan Zarya, right, and they have the monkey. So
like now they're doing something, right? Like now this is good for them.
The problem is if we keep doing what we're doing and they bring in the angles, right? Like right now, this is a big problem, right?
Yeah. Like Josh, I think is in an okay spot.
Ian just got back, so he's in an okay spot as well.
Yeah, Ian's just on the respawn.
Yeah. But
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, our Bap Zarya are really rough spots. Our Ryan is kind of stuck in a corner.
Yeah.
There's a lot of no buenos all around.
we've already lost. Actually, did we lose Lamp because we got jumped? Is that what happened there?
I think it was afterward. I think it was the nano jump.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Is it because they nanoed that we lost Lamp at the very start of this fight? Oh, that's right.
No, it was slightly after. It's the second jump.
No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nano jumps in.
I was thinking last fight.
Yeah. So Nano jumps in, we force him more off of that. So this is already, like... I mean, not ideal. Okay. He gets the shatter.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. When the monkey does something, Owen, if their backline's being stupid, that's your cue to kill them, right?
Yeah.
But you don't need to force any action until like the monkey does something. Okay. In fact, you really don't want to, because that's when the monkey can actually punish you.
I want to watch it back, because I don't think he did force anything.
No, I'm talking about like the first fight.
Yeah.
No,
I want to watch this fight for comparison. Is what I'm saying. Right? I don't think he forced anything.
You didn't go far enough back, by the way.
Oh, I didn't go far enough back.
Yeah.
I don't think here he forced anything, right? Because he's just trying to keep things going.
Yeah.
And Monkey left, and he's like, cool. Front backline's moving forward. Like, this was goodbye. And then the monkey gets pressure to come back. Yeah. No, Owen, I think Owen saved that one, actually.
Yeah.
I ironically think Owen was MVP of that fight. Okay. How do we stabilize off this? People are not looking good right now. And we don't have our supports yet. Fear. Okay. Monkey gets set up, dive. Oh, he drops. It's kind of lame. Alright, good kill. I don't like that the DPS were stacked up there, but it works. I want to see why we lose back.
He was still rotating. I don't think he stopped moving and just died. Like, he was still walking in, and then, like, he's still walking. I guess he stopped here.
He stops there.
Oh, he ate all the stickies. Oh, boy.
Sticky. Oh.
Feels bad.
he got hit by one and ate every sticky. Oh, that hurts to watch.
Yeah.
Did he have
Keep
Immor?
checking stickies can be hard.
Did he have Immor there?
Well...
Oh, he didn't even get a chance. He didn't even get a chance anymore.
I mean, probably what he was thinking is last time he used it too early, and so he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to hold it, and then he just had a moment of, like, indecision and died.
Yeah. No, that would have been okay to use Immor there. Like you shouldn't have been in that position, but I think that's where you need like Immor. Personally. Just to keep this fight going. Right? I mean your team wins it anyways, just because we play this better, but that's definitely rough to watch. Feels stickies, man. I hate Echo as a character. She's so lame. And then Tina's on taxi duty. The Tina taxi.
We have a big split in our Ryan Zarya right now. Normally that's okay, except the fact we're not actually trying to hold this choke, so this is... I mean, I guess now we're trying, but again, we're too split for this, right? Like, Ryan Zarya splits are good if they're split around a choke that you're trying to hold, right? But this is just split up.
Ryan Zarya, actually, I have a pen tool for this. What the heck am I doing? Right? Like Ryan Zarya here is okay, right? But moving it on a continental scale is like we're not going to get anything done with that.
Yeah,
we don't hold anything here.
Yeah,
right?
And also Ross, I'm assuming someone just said let's use grab dragon here, and then you just grabbed without really thinking about where your team is. But like you gotta know where your team is, especially your Ryan, right? Like your Ryan's nowhere even close to following up on this grab, right? And he's your most important follow up because he has to kill the lamp most of the time, right?
Although admittedly they are I think they're trying to play it safe because the supports are both gone, right? With Bat dead and the Lucio taxing, so I understand.
Yeah, it's
why
fine to start
here. Yeah, but like as soon as these healers are back, like we gotta move, right?
Yeah,
like we gotta do something. Like healers are back. Why are we here?
Yeah, I mean, like wherever we want to take, wherever we want to take a fight, like that's fine, right? We can take a fight, in this spot, right? But if we are, like, we need to know, right? Because our Ryan is like backing up when you're going for this grab, and he's going back around the corner.
I think Owen could be pushing here. Honestly.
Yeah, he could be, right? He could be if this was planned, right? But this is not planned, like at all. All we said is probably grab dragon, and then like Ross, you just found the first grab you could, right? Without really calling it.
As soon as Owen starts moving here, they probably think twice about pushing.
He could literally pin right now, and then he could grab right as he's pinning, and they probably wouldn't see that coming.
Yeah. Let me erase this, and then I want to see this fight. I wonder, do the dragons just get eaten here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
She ran a DM. She ran a DM.
She ran a DM.
Yeah, she wasted a lot of it.
They lamp it. Oh,
yeah.
Owen does.
But again, like, yeah, I mean the problem is like it's out of order, right? Like, Owen can't get in to kill the lamp before the dragon's in, right? And again, whenever we talked about this before. Whenever we were trying to use combos against BAP, we need to have a plan for the lamp, right? What is that? Oh, that's an echo grab. Okay.
That's echo grab. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they cap that.
But yeah, we need to have better planning than that because that was not good.
Bro, Ross, I felt this. I wanna. This isn't to make fun of Ross. This is because you and I have both literally done this in our Complex Sky games and messed this jump up like 8 times.
Dude, I can't ever do this jump.
I can't ever do this jump. It's so hard. I saw at least he gave up after 2 because I would have kept going mid fight to try and hit that one. I hate not being able to make that jump.
I'm not sure why it's so hard. It feels like it should be easier. I feel like I used to be able to do that as well. I don't know how.
It's because you have to slide like up the thing. It's at max height for a rocket jump.
Yeah. Also,
Yes,
Dylan, you
speed
need
run
to
this
get that corner as fast as you can and just like retake high ground, right? Like, again, like with BAP, you can sort of be like Schrödinger's like high ground, right? So you can be like both high ground and not high ground at the same time, right? So like once you put this window down and you not get anything, right? Start reconsidering taking high ground again, right? Like you should be like walking forward here. You shouldn't be looking at every team, right? Just you should like go back high ground, right? Like just start charging a jump and going back high ground. Because like when you have a jump charge, you can be high ground and low ground at the same time depending what you need, right? As soon as like you need to be high ground, you're high ground. You need to be low ground, you can stay low ground.
You need to be high ground
Yeah.
now.
But you just leave yourself next to your Rhino on the floor too much, and it causes a lot of issues. Like going for the window and trying to use the window is fine, but as soon as like everyone starts running away, right, retake high ground, right? Yeah, it just gets you caught less. Like if Owen makes a mistake, right, you can't be the one getting punished for it, or like if you can't. The worst thing that happens is dying by accident because they're shooting your Rhino. Right, that's the worst.
He could save others from death, but not himself.
Exactly.
If I were able to name these VODs like realistically instead of just calling them Hickman VOD reviews, that was clean. Like because we were set up for that. That was pretty clean. Really no comments on that. I kind of just want to title this one Schrödinger's High Ground. Like that's I think that's my favorite quote from tonight. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
He's gonna get it eventually.
Up. You have to be in that corner for it, I think. I don't think you can hit it from the front. Yeah. Yeah. No shame.
I've done this before too.
There's no shame in that, Ross. There's no shame in that.
I've definitely done that one.
Yeah. It's like I'm willing to peek the enemy to get up here.
I mean, you're Zara. You got bubble. You're fine.
The great rotation. Interesting wall.
Also, Ross, you don't have to drop. You can just like jump to the other high ground using grenade jumps. You can jump from one high ground to the other, and that keeps you high ground and also like in position to off angle when your team's dropping. And that one's actually easy, unlike the other jump. He's going for it again.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Schrödinger's high ground.
60 seconds.
Okay, well that was just. Come on. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. When he needs it most. When he needs it most.
Never mind. Oh, big stun.
Big stun. Fell.
Yeah.
What?
That's kind of awkward. I think he stunned them when they were on the elevator. The elevator went back down.
Wall.
Yeah.
Game champ. Why is Dylan over here? Wait, what? Hold on. I have to watch this back. Why did the Baptiste up here?
Oh.
Oh, Baptiste's
The moving elevator.
Baptiste's trying to hold this to heal them. Okay. Understandable. You are very far forward as soon as they start pushing high ground. Actually, both of you are very far forward.
I mean, it's fine for
It's fine for
Josh to be
Josh,
here.
but like it's
Yeah.
not good for Bap to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, does he at least keep Owen alive? Oh my god, he's getting frozen. Oh my god, the beat from him is immense. Oh, just take it.
And
like
don't forget,
champ.
when you're doing this, you can be shooting at the same time. Like you're not like even if like you're just missing all your shots, it's better than not doing it at all, right?
Yeah, just weave the damage in. You can get 2 left clicks in per 1 right click if you just hold them both down.
10 seconds remaining.
Right? What is happening? Okay.
He wanted to touch, apparently.
Yeah, you know what? The elevator high noon. Look at this baby diva run into place.
She's got a touch.
Got a touch?
Yeah, round may be over, but she's got a touch.
Yeah.
And then she can yell loudly when no one's looking, "I'm on!" And then they can like look over and be like, "Hey, she is on. How come we didn't touch?"
Yeah. All right. Wall baited. Good. Yeah, this is the time to engage if we have heals on Owen.
This is really good. It may look like our DPS are stacked,
Ooh.
and they kind of are, right? But it's the only off angle they have, right? And then immediately, like Ian's taking the high ground, so he's extending the off angle, right? So this is really good.
Yeah, this is great.
In fact, we could be pushing more aggressively probably than this.
Yeah,
with
no,
our rest of our team.
Owen got down to half and he backed out, and then we committed lamp to that. Like honestly, I think we just throw lamp here so that Owen can keep going aggressive and getting swings in. Right? Like we can push off of that. Oh, don't give up that high ground.
Yeah.
Why did we give up the high ground?
No, it's fine. It's Hanzo. Hanzo can just take it whenever.
Yeah,
Schrodinger's high
Hanzo
ground.
can take it back. Schrodinger's high ground.
Yeah.
The higher ground.
Yeah. But Josh, instead of like walking in with your team here, like you can either like flank around behind them when your team's pushing in and go the other way. Just like time your entry for after your Rhine gets like, pushed. Or you can just like wrap around to high ground.
Nah, Schrodinger's high ground.
Yeah. Or you
Oh
can
my
wrap around to
God.
high ground and just have a late entry to the high ground and like start blinking away. But like you don't really want to go with your team no matter what, right? Either you go to the high ground and get there a bit late, or you or you go around, right? As your team's pushing in, you go around the other way, and then you go for like either like shots or a flashbang kill, depending what's going on. All right, so I'd really like to see Ian hold the other high ground right now because everyone's on this high ground. So if he was just like on the other side, like applying pressure to this BAP from the other side, right? That'd be really good.
Like taking one of the little carts in.
Or just like the little windows on the outsides of the map, right? You can just sit in those and apply pressure while our team's like setting up.
I kind of like this actually from Josh, right? Because looking at it right from the top down. Okay.
I think Josh just missed the rotation. That's why he's here.
But what it is doing, right, is it's setting up. It's actually setting up a concave in like the weirdest of ways. It's setting up the concave, and Josh is so far that nobody can push him here. Also, like
exactly.
McCree can't challenge his angle right here. McCree is in a really awkward position right now, and Josh being here is quite nice. I mean, that may well is a little frustrating, but this is good because we're now just forcing cooldowns. We kill the Rhine. Now there's a window. Like I think this is good. But I think we lose this based off the timer. Yeah, we lose this. It was an interesting play. Almost worked. And now we're just really split. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we should well, we got a tick. So we would have won off of that. In a real match, we would have won off of that. I'd call that a success. All right. Let's long.
All right, again, like because Josh can only take this route to get to high ground. Ian, he can only take the elevator. You really want to take the other side of the map, to some degree, right? Or have Josh like walk around that way and not bother with the elevator, and you like cross the gap like with your leap.
Like here, or is this too close?
That's too close, right? Initially, I'm talking about like the no, just the windows, like the basic spots, right? Like here, right? You can play here initially. Well, Josh takes the elevator, right? Or you have Josh just walk in and go left side, and you take the elevator and go up and do the normal thing, right? But you guys can't both be doing the same thing. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. Yeah. Whoever goes which way doesn't really matter. But be split.
Yeah, high ground, low ground split on the same angle is not a split.
Unlucky.
Oh, unlucky.
Also, Ross, please stop face tanking windows. You do this a lot.
Oh, he got punished.
If you want to peek the window for energy, do it from behind cover, right? So that way you can take 2 steps out, bubble yourself, get energy, and then go back, right? Like you're behind cover right now. Why are you walking back out? You know, why are you walking in front of your cover?
Yeah, that was the cover. It's like you are really tempting fate, just trying to. You're dancing in front of them, trying to get their attention, not realizing like how fast your bubble's gonna burst. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Pain.
Like either play the boxes or the corner. Doesn't really matter, but you got to play cover against window, or against window, because window can mess your day up.
Feels window, man.
All right, don't want to harp on it, but again, DPS on the same spot. We're crossing the gap. That's fine, but again, we only really want one DPS crossing the gap. The other one should be trying to take an angle on the other side of the map.
DPS is still playing the same exact angle.
Yep.
Beat.
Yeah, now we're splitting.
Yeah.
Josh is going off angling.
Ross is
He's
going
high
for
ground.
it. Ross just wanted that. Okay. Win the flank.
Yeah.
McCree diff.
So notice, like, we're down one and we still won this fight because we took angles. But now the problem is, like, we're in a brawl situation and like we're way out of formation. We don't have a map on high ground. Both DPS are sitting on point, right? Ian's like taking high ground now. But it's just like very messy. I'm probably still gonna win anyways, but we almost there was a solid chance for someone to die there, and that's why. But no one did, and that's why we won. And it just came down to the fact of having angles, right? It was literally just angles. We got a McCree safely on one side and the Hanzo safely on the other, and then we won, despite being down to Zarya.
Let me just run this one back. Right. Okay. Right here. Right. Right here is when we make the conscious decision to start splitting. Right. Even though the shatter doesn't connect, even though the beat is used offensively, right? Like, even though High Noon and Window are gone, like, we've used a lot of ults and it almost doesn't even matter besides surviving the grab, just because of what situation this is now. Right? Okay. Like, we're down to Ross, which sucks, but make it work. Pre-diff. Right.
As he dies to Hanzo.
Oh, I thought he died to Josh.
Yeah.
That's
our angles. You can shoot guys in the back when they're focused on something else.
That is a textbook example, right? Like, May can only look at one thing at a time now. Zarya was only able to look at one thing at a time. May's in the corner. Ryan diff. Receive the stun.
Yeah, their communication was also all over the place. Their May's like hiding behind a wall and pointing, their Ryan still charged in.
Yeah.
Like the May should be yelling at everyone like, "Don't touch. I've got point for now."
Or at least make the trickle a little bit stronger. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back a little bit because I want to get that thumbnail for tonight.
Hey there.
Okay.
It's gonna be the May getting launched. There it is. This is it. This is incredible.
Solid.
Here you go. That's the thumbnail for tonight.
Well, let's go.
Oh my god, Schrödinger's high ground. Okay. Awesome. Do we want to look over Busan or we want to call it?
I've got to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we will wrap it
All right.
up. Right. Yeah. Good maps overall, I think. But yeah.
All right. See you Tuesday.
See y'all Tuesday.